Why does this market keep going up? What is driving the action? Good morning, traders. I'm going to address that issue. As you know from Sunday's video, I had mentioned to you, do not short this market. It's going higher, and here we are at a new all-time high yesterday. So we're going to take a look at the price action and what's actually been happening. The bad news is mounting. There's absolutely no question about it. Before we get into that, let's take a look at my pick from Sunday, Netflix. It's a stock that I traded a couple of times. I traded it yesterday. You can see on the D1 chart, I really love the fact that the stock has had strong previous price action, lots of buyers, earnings announcement here, stock pulls back, and it tests the 100-day moving average. It actually found support above the 100-day moving average, and you can see right here that it moved above AVWAP-E. That, in my opinion, is very significant. That's the average volume weighted price since the earnings announcement. I like the fact that the stock still has plenty of upside room, so I don't feel like I'm chasing this one, unlike many other stocks. The one thing about it right here is that the stock has to be able to get through that 50-day moving average. It's a little bit above its EMA 8, so it might need a little bit of time to digest these gains. But once it does so, maybe a week or so, I feel it's going to push through that 50-day moving average with ease, and it could even assault the all-time high over the course of the next month or so. I love Netflix. The other nice thing about Netflix is that it's almost a flight to safety stock now, even in tough economic conditions. $11 monthly subscription. It's not going to break the bank, and this is a very cheap form of entertainment. So I still like Netflix. They've got some great content. Let's go back to the market and take a look at what's happening. Now, I'll be honest with you. I have been a very reluctant buyer since way back in here on this breakout. I thought that this move was going to roll over and that we're going to start seeing some selling pressure because of global economic conditions, not because of what's happening in the US, but because of what I see on the global scene. Where's the growth coming from? What's the global growth engine? Europe? No, Europe's not growing. Japan's not growing. South Korea's not growing. China's not growing. Of course, if you read their numbers, they're growing at a 5% GDP rate. Not. So where is all this growth going to be coming from that's fueling this market rally? I think one of the things that's benefited U.S. markets is the fact that our economy is actually holding up well relative to the rest of the world. And I believe that's attracting international money right now. There are also lots of trade deals that have been discussed. There's still going to be tariffs. The tariffs are going to be implemented, and those rates are pretty close to where they were in April, but the market's had a chance to adjust to what's happening, and it hasn't seen a spike in inflation. And so all of these worries and concerns that tariffs are going to result in higher prices, they haven't played out yet. And it's going to take time for that to flow into the economy and into the prices because companies front-loaded inventory ahead of those tariffs. And so now they're working off that inventory. And so we should see new orders decline for the next month or two as that inventory gets worked off. Jobs, yes, jobs were weak. We're going to be watching initial claims. Who knows where the jobs report's going to come out this month or if we can even trust it. So the market just doesn't seem to care. It's oblivious to all of this. ISM services came out almost in contraction territory. So as all of this bad news mounts, you start to get some short sellers. And what they do is they will short these little dips like this. And then as soon as the market starts to recover, now they've got to reel in their shorts. When they do that, it fuels the next leg higher. This could be a market melt-up. We could see a rally that continues to move higher and higher in the absence of bad news. The next big news event is Jackson Hole and that is a symposium where Powell's going to be speaking August 21st and 23rd. This is typically a fairly slow time of year because we have Congress in recess and we've got the Fed in recess. So there's not a lot of news, not a lot of big economic reports. We have PPI coming out this morning after CPI yesterday, and that's the reason that the market rallied yesterday. Was it a fantastic, incredible, oh my God number? No. 0.2% on CPI, which was an improvement from 0.3% the prior month. Better than feared. That was it. That's all we needed to fuel a rally to a new high. And look at the price action yesterday on a 5-minute chart. Market pulls back, it tests the gap up, which I have been telling you in all of my videos. Gaps up to a new high. Do not chase them. Wait for that bid check, and that's going to provide you with an excellent entry point. So here we get right back above VWAP. Nice. We erase these red candles. Most of the gap up is preserved, and we challenge the prior day's high instantly. Great. This is your entry point for longs. That's actually where I started buying Netflix yesterday. Why was Netflix down? I don't really care because I've seen buyers coming into the stock recently, and I was able to buy this stock early in the day. It gapped up with the market, pulled back, then I had a nice long green bullish engulfing candle off the low. That was good enough for me to get long, and the stock rallied about $8 from that point on. Really nice long for me. And I didn't feel like I was chasing. So those are the types of opportunities that I think set up well in this market right now. It's very difficult to chase stocks that have made really nice big gains on the open on big volume. Typically, those moves are going to continue. But when the market is grinding higher, the gains in those stocks come very stubbornly because the move is already exhausted. You've had a big move up already. But some of these other stocks that have shown strength over the course of the last week or two, when they pull back, they find that support, and that's where buyers are anxious to get back in. And those stocks actually have really nice upside. You just need that market tailwind to fuel the move higher. So look for some of those types of opportunities. And as far as the overall market, I don't really care why it's going up. It's going up. It just made a new all-time high. Shorts are going to be extremely passive because they've had their head handed to them recently. So they're not going to be out there aggressively shorting right now. That means that even a small bid to the market can fuel the move higher. And that's what we're seeing. So I'm going to show you a stock that I think sets up well. Now, this one is a breakout, and it looks like it's going to continue higher. The stock is BE. I could go through every one of these stocks in this list, and they all look fantastic. I like BE because it's recently announced earnings. And on the D1 chart, come on, D1 chart, load for me. You can see how the stock had earnings here. Stock sold off initially on that earnings announcement and rebounded the entire day. So they wanted to smack it down, but the stock recovered. You can see this nice tight compression, and now the stock is not too far above the EMA 8, but it's breaking out to a new all-time high. And you saw the price action on a 5-minute basis yesterday. Very nice, steady price action. Gradual float higher. Of course, you had a strong market tailwind all day long. This is the kind of stock, and look at that nice heavy volume. This is the kind of stock that on a pullback, I want to be buying. So could we see some profit taking from yesterday, early in the day today? Yes, great. Bring it on. I will be looking to scoop a stock like this. So that's what you should also be watching for. Which stocks performed really well yesterday, didn't get too overheated? Are they pulling back this morning? If the answer is yes, they find support and then they start to regain some relative strength. It'll give you a really nice entry point. You can also right-click on a stock like this, create an alert, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to send an alert based on HA reversals, and I'm going to choose HA reversal, and I'm going to choose that on a 15-minute basis because I want a little bit more of a significant pullback in the stock, because if the stock pulls back a decent amount, then it's going to have more upside to run. But I want to have a bullish HA reversal on a 15-minute basis. I'm going to click the plus sign to add it, and now it's saved. So when I get that, and I'll show you what it looks like, we'll go into a 15-minute chart, and we'll take a look at one. This would be an HA reversal. So currently, we are on a bullish continuation. So I would need to have a bearish HA reversal and a bullish HA reversal for this alert to trigger. So that's what I call a round trip. It goes from bullish to bearish to bullish. During that process, the stock is going to have a dip, and it's going to come up on my radar. That is a bullish HA reversal because you can see the flat green bottom there. This is a bearish HA reversal, flat top, red. This is a bullish HA reversal right here. So if I set the alert here, I'm going to get an alert here. I can evaluate the depth, magnitude, and duration of that dip. If it was brief and shallow, I have a really nice entry point for the trade, and that's exactly what I'll be watching for on a stock like BE or any of these stocks in this list. Hey, wouldn't it be nice if I could set a similar alert on an entire watch list like that? Yeah, it would be. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to be clicking HA reversal. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. And I'm going to be setting that for the entire list on a 15-minute basis. Bullish. Doesn't matter if the stock is currently on a bearish HA reversal, just has to go bullish, and I'm going to get the alert. If it's on a bullish HA reversal, then it has to do that full turn. But now, all of these stocks in this list, I'm going to get an alert if it goes through a 15-minute HA bearish and bullish reversal. Let's take a look at some of these other stocks. BE is your pick of the day. And we're going to take a look at just the 5-minute charts. Actually, let's go into the daily chart and let's take off the HA candlesticks and go into regular mode. GS, nice breakout. A-Lab, really nice breakout. Yes, this is the kind of stock that I want to buy on a dip. Did you see how easy it was to set that alert? And then I don't feel like I'm chasing the stock. It has plenty of upside because it's dipped. And HD made a nice move yesterday. Home Depot with a nice breakout. Yes, I would like to buy a dip on that. AVGO, just grinding higher. Beautiful stuff. GE looked good. That was on a breakout. All of these stocks are on a nice breakout. So that's how I'm going to be trading right now. I do not like the market. It is plug your nose and buy time right now. And yes, the bad news is mounting, but with this type of price action in the market, I can tell you that buyers have not been rattled. We've seen bad news. You get a dip, they come right back in. You get a dip, they come right back in. This is where your short sellers who are looking for a market top, they get short in here, they're forced to cover. They get short, they're forced to cover. They get short, they're forced to cover, and that helps to fuel the move. If you look at the depth and magnitude of these dips, just like I described for the stocks. If you look at the depth and the duration of these dips, they're very brief and they're very minor. So what? What does that tell us? That tells us that buyers are in control and you have to stay long. With this type of market strength, with a new all-time high, you cannot even contemplate getting short until you have a nice big crackdown with some heavy selling. And I'm talking long red candles that easily obliterate, not touch, obliterate the 50-day moving average. When you see that type of crackdown, okay, that's step one to tell you that now we want to be much more passive with our longs, but you want to really watch how high the market can bounce after that. Are those sellers still there? And then if you make a lower high double top and the market rolls all over before it can get back to the previous high, then you know that sellers are in control, and only then can you contemplate taking short positions. And typically off of that first sell-off and that bounce, you're really looking to break that horizontal level that was established by that first decline. Do you see how many steps you have to go through just to be able to put yourself into a bearish spot right now? So don't even be looking at the short side. Sure, if you've got some stocks that are selling off hard after earnings announcements, there are shorts available right now, but your focus should be on the long side. And the best way to trade from the long side is, number one, you have a nice little market rally, let's say like yesterday's rally. You don't want things to get too overheated. You'd like to have a market pullback. So you're waiting for those market dips and you're looking to buy those market dips. Secondly, you're looking for these really strong stocks that have shown strength over the course of the last few days, that have broken out to new highs on heavy volume, that have also dipped, because now they've got really decent room to run back up to that previous high and perhaps even blow through it on heavy volume. So those are the patterns that you should be looking for. BE, I'm all over it. I'm going to be looking for any kind of pullback that I can get on that stock. I still like Netflix. Netflix has to get through that 50-day moving average. It's moved up a little bit in the last few days, so it may need to take a breather. Stocks like PLTR, all of your major big cap tech stocks. See, PLTR didn't move. It's exhausted from this little move right in here and from that nice big earnings reaction. So it needs time. Once it spends some time, once it pulls back a little bit, perhaps even to AVWAP-E, it's going to have some room to run to the upside, and it will have had time to digest these gains. And it's very important for a stock, after it's made a move higher, there is going to be some profit taking. It's not just going to keep running higher. So it takes time after a big move up to digest those gains, to work off some of that selling pressure, and for the bid to gradually grow to where buyers are once again aggressive enough to start taking out some of that supply, and then you get your next leg higher. So those are the types of moves that you should be looking for. I was going to be doing a live event today. Unfortunately, because of technical issues, we're not going to be able to do that. So we may try and do one tomorrow, Thursday. If not, we'll do the live event on Wednesday next week. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please leave your comments. What are you trading? What have you had success with? By all means, subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on your notifications so you never miss these videos, and thumbs up are always welcome. Trade well. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.